This is the Life's Journey with Best Friends podcast. Listen as two best friends for over 40 years share our experiences, insights, and unique stories. Hey BFFers, welcome to episode 6542 of Life's Journey with Best Friends, because I have no idea what episode we're really on.
67.
Are you sure?
No.
I'll remember when it's 69.
Of course.
6,452 is the last episode.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So, well, anyway, so we're bringing back our lovely husbands who are going to play a game with us. So Dave and Jim, they drive us crazy, and they also help us
Put up with us.
Yeah, exactly.
They drive us crazy and we drive them crazy.
So we're going to play a game to show how well our husbands know us, okay? They have no idea what the questions are. Look at Jim, he's already laughing. Okay. So here's the first question. What is her comfort food? Not her favorite food, but her comfort food.
I don't know if I have a comfort food. Chocolate cake.
Chocolate chip cookies, I would bet.
Yeah, chocolate chip cookies. No, that's a good one.
Chocolate chip cookies is one I would go with.
I thought that was Jim's favorite. You said he liked that was his favorite. Look at.
You know what my comfort? Coffee cake.
Okay.
Right?
Coffee cake.
All right. What's my comfort food, honey? I know what you want to say.
Vodka.
No, margaritas.
Margaritas.
Tacos and margaritas.
Yeah, that's
comfort.
my favorite food. That's not my
favorite.
comfort.
Comfort food. Lasagna.
Mac and cheese.
Anything Italian. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Next question is, what is she passionate about?
What is she passionate about?
I don't.
Am I going to answer, or are you going to answer for me?
Okay, answer.
I would say the grandchildren are the biggest passion.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. You're right. That is
without
right.
question.
By far.
So I was going to say our grandson too, but is there anything else you're really passionate about? Me. She's kind of passionate about me.
Health. She's very passionate about her health.
Passionate about me. I don't know. No, definitely grandson.
Yeah.
Her health. Your health.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, definitely. All right. Here's a good one for you, Jim. What does Diana do to relax?
Mm-hmm.
What does she do to relax? But depending on where we are with dieting, etc., I would say her most often go-to would be a glass of red wine or Prosecco.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hallmark.
Ugh.
Yeah. Hallmark, Prosecco, and red wine. All right, that's good.
Yeah. I can't drink red wine anymore. It gives me heartburn.
Oh, that's a sin.
Yeah, I just got to take a pill.
There's a pill for that.
Yeah.
All right, so what do I do to relax?
I would have to say it's definitely TV related.
Scratch my dick.
Definitely. That's right.
I know, but I'm itchy.
Definitely TV related. So specifically anything that's crappy TV. So like,
What do you mean crappy TV?
Flavor Flav, remember back in the day? That was totally, you just want to veg.
Yeah.
That's your relaxation.
So what is it right now?
Any crappy TV, it really doesn't matter.
Are you calling all the shows I like crap?
I am.
We've asked this question before, but Jim, what are Diana's biggest fears?
Let's see, being awake, breathing, walking down the hallway. Well, so Diana gets twisted up.
No.
Very twisted up over anything medically related. So
Yes.
if the engine that drives Diana isn't running 100% each day, then that requires a whole lot of WebMD and funeral home lookups.
Stop it.
That's awesome. Okay, what are my biggest fears?
Definitely being enclosed under
Yes.
anything,
Yeah,
which makes it kind of difficult to trap her under the blankets or shove her in a closet. But
thanks.
How about bitten by a shark?
yeah, that would, yeah.
That's total irrational fear.
Well, we all had that from.
Yeah.
Oh, I
but-
have an irrational fear. Like, I think they're in pools and shit too. I
Yeah,
don't
think we
know
all had that
why.
as kids. You still have
I
that?
still have that.
Like she goes swimming in a swimming pool. She thinks something's gonna bite her.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe a
irrational.
frog.
Maybe Dave.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I've been
It
called a
bites.
shark.
You have, but not by
Ooh.
me.
Maybe a pool shark.
All right. What is Diana's dream vacation?
Dream vacation. Well, there are a couple of them, right? So there's two that I would say that are tied equally. Doing a very large family trip over to Italy and spending an extended amount of time there. That is one of them. That's definitely a bucket list. The other one is she's convinced that for some reason we're going to rent a camper and drive around the United States.
An RV.
Uh-huh.
I want to do that.
So they're equal.
I've heard that's
One of them,
that's a
one of them I'm interested in entertaining, and the other one doesn't get rented or driven.
The
What-
big rolling turd.
What's the joke? You want to test your marriage? Just try parking it together with Diane not giving you directions.
I know I would not. I know my place right there.
What could go wrong?
Get on my mirror.
Oh, please.
What is yours?
Anything beach is kind of the norm, but I would say anything that has to do with Disney. But her dream vacation is the same. She wants to go to Italy's on the list and Ireland. So anything Italy or
Oh,
Ireland.
yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely. And the RV sounds really cool.
I think the four of us should do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That would be cool.
I don't want to do it with my kids.
No, me
I
neither.
would probably leave them on the side of the road somewhere. So yeah, the four of us that would be fun.
Only if
Sounds
we
like
can-
this is starting off well.
No, I think that we could rent one and just do like this big trip. I think that would be fucking awesome.
I think what we should do is start it in the summertime and go across the south, but time it so that it's winter time when we go across the northern part of this country.
Oh, that would be.
Oh,
That'd
you're
be
talking
great.
one?
Yeah.
But I would like to see like Mount Rushmore and Yosemite and Yellowstone or whatever. I think that would kind of be cool in an RV.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would totally. Yes, for sure. What does Diana value most?
It's kind of corny, but I'd say family.
Yeah.
Everything's family first. Even though we've purchased the house down in South
Moved
Carolina,
away from
we
family.
spend the entire time down here trying to talk the rest of the family into coming down. But we still have the place in Mass as well, right? So, and we chose to have that located, close to Lauren and Billy and the grandkids and whatnot. So I would say family is what she's
Yep.
All right. So what do I?
What's the question again? What are we talking about?
What do I value most?
Value the most.
My love for you.
yes. Dave for the win.
No, it's got to be family also.
Yeah.
So I really can't think of anything else.
No,
But it's not just family.
No.
It's seeing family and hosting family and getting them together.
right.
Right. So it doesn't matter
Keeping them.
it doesn't matter whether it's a holiday or just dinner.
I have one thing to add to that. I would have to say my friends as well too.
Well, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
value, like I do my family. So
But
yeah,
I would consider them your family, your
yes,
friends, like your circle.
right.
That's the most important.
Yeah, I don't put any value on anything financially. I mean, it's
Me neither.
yeah, because that can always be replaced.
Yeah, we learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, what's Diana's guilty pleasure?
that I would say would be the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah.
You know, that's her spot to go squirrel away. I can't tell you how many times we'll have conversations during various parts of the year. Christmas in July is a big one that Greg's that goddamn channel back on my TV. And then like the Christmas movies start somewhere around Labor Day, which is magical. They've got 500 movies, 3 directors, and 1 script. It's great.
Stop. I love them.
And they all end with Merry Christmas.
I love them.
I do
And I
too.
think that's the biggest guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's my guilty pleasure?
That's a tough one. You know what? Oh, no, you know what I have to say is you love Gucci Garing around craft stores like Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's a guilty pleasure because you will buy a bunch of shit, which is fine. You do take me with you, I think, to buy less.
I do. Well, and I have this thing like
Or to pay.
I put it in the carriage and I walk around the store with it, and then before we leave I actually take half the shit out. But if I want it, it stays in the carriage. Like
Yeah, so like you'll put a pocketbook on your shoulder
and I
and
carry it around.
and walk around the entire store the entire time with it on her shoulder. Like, nope, don't want it. No, I'm good. So one more thing. I think her next up and coming guilty pleasure is going to the zoo.
Oh, shut up.
We've yet to go to the zoo. So she looked at me one day. I think
During
the
COVID,
kids were here. And literally in this voice, she said, I want to go to the zoo.
right?
Shouted at us.
I know that voice.
Oh my gosh, I was so bored, and they were like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want to go to the zoo," right? And now, if we talk about like, "Oh, what are we doing this weekend?" I'm just like, "I want to go to the zoo," and I do because it was outside, it was COVID. I wanted to go, and you know what? You haven't taken me to the damn zoo yet.
The kids and I will not take her.
All right. I can't wait for this answer. Jim, how does Diana handle stress?
Very well. I handle it very well.
By pulling Jim's hair.
So it's a multifaceted approach. At first, she becomes very quiet. And then, so if something's stressing her out and it is something that she can attempt to solve on her own, she will be quiet at first. Then she will have 15 different proven methods to make it go away that she will begin trying. Then she'll calm herself down and say, all right, we'll just deal with it tomorrow. And she's good. And then she'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and start sending text messages to everybody. And we'll be up until it's time to go to work. So I think that's a pretty good summary on something that stresses her out. Did I leave anything out?
No, I think that's very accurate. I love it.
Can't help it. I worry.
You can't help it. You're dealing with something that's stressful.
Right. Yeah, I get it. How do I handle stress?
Similar. So at first, you're quiet, right? So you get a little quiet, and then I think you kind of avoid it, and you show irritation about everything else except for that one thing. So we kind of dance around that for a day or two. But in those 2 days, you have really wild dreams about other stuff, and they're usually not pleasant.
No, usually it's you're cheating on me or
something like, damn it, you cheated on me in your dreams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then eventually you open up and you talk about it.
Because I start to cry.
Yeah, you might cry. Yeah, and then it kind of goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, and then I'll be like, okay, we could have avoided this 3 days ago. Why didn't you say something?
That's where the tacos and margaritas come in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what makes Diana laugh?
Let's see. So she's got a really fun sense of humor. So, just basic jokes, twisting something in an obnoxious way to say it, that will make her giggle. Anything ridiculous that happens to me is a point of severe laughter.
Yes.
Which is the same way I react to her, so it's fair. So there are certain things that will make her laugh, sitting around talking, calling somebody, on bullshit if they're trying to pass a story, and
Mhm.
she'll clap her hands and laugh with that. But yeah, I think that's, it's talking with her friends, talking with the family, and
Yeah.
I think that's what makes her laugh most. But usually it's
Listening to Dave giggle.
usually it's at me.
That's definitely
Yes.
something if he falls or
Cool.
something.
If I decide to Kool-Aid man
Yeah, I was
anything,
just gonna say Kool-Aid man.
hey, Kool-Aid.
All right.
What about,
What makes me laugh?
Farts or balls.
Yeah.
yeah,
Farts, testicles, poop, balls. You're a 14-year-old boy.
Stop.
Anything.
It's stupid. I know.
I don't have to go any further than
No, you
that.
don't.
how can farts still make you laugh?
Listen, they're funny.
Because they're funny. And then if someone farts, the dog runs. And that makes me laugh even more. I don't know.
Makes it really easy to send her memes and stuff like
Yes,
that.
it does.
Yeah.
What are Diana's pet peeves?
Pet peeves. Let's see. Things that don't go the way they're supposed to.
It's not a pet peeve.
Meaning, if something's supposed to be delivered on time and it's late.
That's not a pet peeve. I get pissed. That's not a pet peeve. A pet peeve is someone telling me to shush in the middle of talking.
Why don't you ask me what my pet peeve is? I think it might start with being screamed at on camera 1 inch from my face.
I have a few.
All right. What are your pet peeves, Diana?
I do not like to be shushed. That drives me crazy. If I'm having a conversation, I hate this things I hate when people say the wrong word for something.
Supposedly.
It just grinds my gears or nails on a chalkboard.
Okay. All
What
right.
you guys? Your pet peeve.
What's my pet
I think
peeve?
one of the obvious ones is toilet paper.
Oh,
Oh,
But
the roll?
yeah,
yes, it drives me nuts when someone leaves the empty roll of toilet paper. I don't know.
it's always somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Because I never do that.
never.
Never.
Noelle.
I don't.
I don't. Cabinets open.
Yep.
Oh, I hate that too.
Close the cabinet. You walked away from it.
Yeah, I
there's
agree.
A couple of expletives in there.
And then
I
the
agree.
cabinet gets-
I don't like the cabinets open.
I don't know. I know there's
Toilet seat up.
Yeah. No, that
leave the light on in the garage.
lock the garage door on her. That's a pet peeve.
He has locked me in the garage so many times and not on purpose. Like
I lock the doors.
we're in
So
the
in-
house. It's 12 in the
in-
afternoon. He walks around locking all the fucking doors.
In
And
any
I'm
relationship,
outside.
in any relationship, there's a person who keeps the windows and doors secure, and there's a person who keeps them wide the fuck open.
At 12 in the afternoon.
Anything on the first floor should stay locked, otherwise you're inviting
Why?
issues in.
Up in your hill?
And he locks
Like-
the door. He's done it to the kids too. They didn't believe me until he did it to them. And then we're like, so I just made him go out and get a door, but it has the push button.
Good.
So he
That's
stopped
smart.
locking me out there.
But she went out there and didn't have the code.
Still bad. There was one night and he was playing video games in the big room. I had to go outside. It was freezing. Go around and start banging on the windows. He didn't even know he had headphones on. He thought it was the video game playing.
No.
Yes.
Steve.
Outstanding.
What are Diana's career goals?
None.
Yeah, I think Diana likes to work and work with her friends. I think her career goal is to ride herself to retirement, working with the same group of people she's with. That's what I would think.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, you don't even have to answer that. That's my career goal. I'm gonna retire.
No, it's not.
No, that's not true. You're right. It's not. What's my career goal?
Anything that's not 9 to 5. Specifically, you're looking at dog treats and a food truck or something like
A
that.
dog food truck. Yeah.
Dog food truck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah.
But to me, that's retiring.
that's retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It, being your own boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Diana's favorite way to be spoiled?
Favorite way to be spoiled. Let's
I
see.
know.
I think she spoils herself. She likes to go and get her hair done or her nails done. But if it was a full spoiling, I think she'd like anything delivered that had the name Louis Vuitton on it.
Yeah.
That would probably be something. So
Full
some sort of a trinkety thing that, you know, had a designer label or sparkled, you know, that type of stuff. But we don't do a whole lot of that here. So, you know.
Yeah, for me it'd be like a nice blowout makeup.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean I love Louis, but that's like a very expensive.
Yeah, that's like an over the top spoil. So yeah, there's variations of that for sure. All right, what's my favorite way to be spoiled?
I would have to say any getaway, whether it's just a weekend, doesn't have to be a destination,
Yeah.
just time away,
Yeah.
someplace.
Yeah, and not having to think about the house or the dogs
Yeah,
or
just away.
yeah, for sure.
And preferably with margaritas and tacos in there somewhere.
Last question. What are Diana's biggest dreams?
I think the biggest dreams would probably tie into the vacations that we talked about. And, you know, particularly the one in Europe and Italy, to be there with the whole family. I think that's probably the biggest dream. It's not your biggest dream? All
No.
right, well, that would have been what I guessed.
Millionaire.
Oh, she wants to be on.
I want to have a lot of money and not have to worry about fucking bills. You know what I mean?
Biggest dream, darling.
Biggest. Now I'm questioning my answer. Your biggest dream is owning a lot of land and raising chickens? No,
Yeah,
that's part.
Fun.
part of
But
it.
I think it's moving. It might be retiring and moving.
Yeah.
To someplace warmer.
Yes, and to have
So,
I can raise chickens, and I just did a lot of research on rabbits. Oh my gosh, what you can
And
do
watch
with
out for
rabbits is
why would you want a
unbelievable.
rabbit?
You only buy one, or else you're going to have 1,000.
Well, that's the point.
Right.
You need about 1,000.
Yeah.
For
So
a coat?
there's many reasons. So you can sell the meat for what?
Go wait, keep going.
Sell the meat for dog food. You can sell the fur. You can the poop. You can sell that for
Noelle,
What about the
what is
keychain
wrong
business?
with you?
No,
The
and it's
rabbit-
gonna- and it's one of the only animals that it's not wet poop and it doesn't smell.
You're gonna buy bunnies and fucking kill them.
And I'm gonna name them all Stew.
Wait, you want to hear a statistic? You want to hear the best statistic?
Yes.
1,000 rabbits poop anywhere from 50 to 100 tons of poop a year.
And I'm gonna sell it as fertilizer.
What
Hey, I
is
get to
wrong
buy,
with
I,
you,
I get to buy
man?
farm equipment, so I don't care.
There you go.
All right, so that was kind of fun. We learned a little bit. I learned that you definitely pay more
Don't
attention.
know. He doesn't know a lot.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. No, that's good. All right, so do you guys want to talk about our vacation when we went down?
Yeah, we
Okay.
could talk about it.
So we had gone down a few weeks ago to visit Diana and Jim, and it was Super Bowl weekend, and we had made the plans back in December, and we were in this bar,
So excited.
Anchor Bar, and we were like, yeah, we should come down and watch the Super Bowl here. This is gonna be great. So we booked the tickets. We went down. We got down on a Thursday night,
We had-
And
plans to go to Charlotte on Saturday.
Charleston.
Yep.
Charleston. Sorry.
Charleston on Saturday. So we went out for these awesome burgers that night, had some beers. Diana, Julie, and I stayed up and sang and drank more, and we were up till like 1 a.m.
Yes, you sang till 1 a.m.
Yes, we were having fun drinking red wine.
Yes.
Dave knows because he was trying to go to sleep.
Yeah. And
So was Jim.
Yes.
I'm not used to that because our house, if you're in our kitchen, you're nowhere near our bedroom. So I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't even thinking, but whatever. We were on vacation. So
Yeah,
we go to bed.
exactly.
The next morning we get up. Jim and Diana always wake up super early. So Jim sends us all the texts and says, hey, can I get you anything at Dunk's? I didn't see it because I was sleeping. But anyway, so then a little later on, I wake up and I look at my phone and I see the text and I'm like, oh crap, what do I want at Doug's? So I go out into the rest of the house to look to see if they're still here and no one's there. I'm like, oh, they're already at Doug's. So, and then I look at my phone again and I have this message that says, I think it was from Life 360. And it says, I think Jim was either dropped his phone or was in a car accident. Call him and find out what's going on. So I look at Life 360 and Diana and Jim are together and they're moving at the same time and they're close to the house. And I was like, oh, so I take a snapshot of it. I send it to Diana and I go, what the fuck is this? And she's like, calls me, which is weird. And she says, yeah, we were in a car accident. We're in the back of an ambulance. I'm going to call you when we get there. Now I got to wake Dave up. I got to wake Julie up. I'm like, what the hell happened? So now it's your turn to take over what happened. So
Yes,
this is
so
an adventure for sure.
it was an adventure. So we decided, Jim gets up and he goes, I'm gonna go for coffee. He hadn't been feeling good. And I was tired. We went to bed at 1. It was like 7. I didn't sleep well. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay here. And then I go, you know what? I'm just gonna go with you. So we got in the car and we're driving down the road and he says to me, I don't want to jinx it, but I haven't coughed yet. And I said, don't say it.
And I had been coughing pretty good for a couple of days at
You
that
had
point.
that horrible cough. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
I made a lot of friends on the plane on the flight down the night before.
Yeah, you did.
So as we're driving down the road, no lie, 2 seconds later, he starts hacking. And now I have my head in my phone, so I'm not looking at him. And I go, are you okay? And I look over at him, and this is not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I look over at him and his head is slumped and he's just drooling behind the wheel as we're driving down the street. I scream because we had just turned onto the street, so we weren't going fast. And I go, Jim. And no sooner did I say Jim that he woke up and we smashed head on into a telephone pole, which was
Jim's
the
pole.
scary. Yep, Jim's pole, scariest thing in my life.
Yeah.
The airbags all went off. The car was smoking. And I looked at him and I go, get out, get out. I thought it was going to catch on fire.
Right.
It was that bad. So I couldn't get out my side. I had the airbags surrounding me. I couldn't open the door. So he gets out. I go out his side. And then he came around to get me, but I wasn't in the car because I was behind him. And so then people were stopped. The guy was like, holy shit, are you okay? I'm like, yes. I go, I think I know, I banged my head. I said, he had blood on his face and I had a huge welt all of a sudden just started coming out. And I was I was really sore. And I said, yes, please, can you call the police? Because we couldn't figure out, his phone was still connected to the Apple CarPlay, so he couldn't hear them talking to him. Plus, I didn't know if he was dazed and confused. I didn't know what was going on. He had just fucking passed out as we were driving. And so the cops got there immediately, ambulance, and so they brought us to the hospital. So in between all that, because Life 360 is such a good app, it alerted my whole fucking family at 7:30 in the morning that we were in a car accident. So my dad immediately started calling me. Lauren is on a cruise in the middle of the Atlantic, texting me what's happening, what happened. So I texted, my dad called me. I go, yes, we're okay. Give me a minute. It just happened. I'll call you back. And Lauren, I guess mine was a little more cryptic to her. I texted her. I'm like, it's a long story. I'll tell you in a minute. Because I think they were putting him in the ambulance at the time.
You went in first.
Yeah.
No, I went around the side.
Okay. You were behind me. I knew that.
Yeah, yeah. You were in the stretcher. They brought me over to the side door and put me in the chair and strapped me in. And that was my first ever ride at 56 in an ambulance.
Wow, 56? You're 56? Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
And so, and then, we get to the hospital, they do all kinds of tests. Jim ends up having a fractured rib.
At least one. They weren't sure if there were two.
And we're just bumped and bruised. I have, my right side was just
Purple.
black and blue and purple, and the big welt up by my neck went all the way down and across my stomach. And I ended up getting a deep hematoma in my stomach sheath. It's
Yeah.
called, yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
And so they said nothing to be worried about. So,
Right.
but of course, me being the fucking anxiety riddled girl that I am, I'm thinking, oh my, like, I don't believe the doctor. She says it's nothing, but I have something. Like, I freaked out a little bit over it. I was more freaked out over him. We found out also that he was diagnosed with the flu, and he had a coughing fit so bad, he either fainted, or they call it vasovagal, a vasovagal nerve, and it's so funny that he was diagnosed with that, because now as I work, I see that quite often.
Really?
In a hospital. And I was like, wow, I had never paid attention of that
Wow.
until now. And I've seen it a couple times. So, yeah,
I
so
didn't really, yeah. I
they
had never heard of that in my entire life, that someone could cough, but it makes a lot of sense. Like, you're expelling all of the oxygen in your lungs, and your vagus nerve is kind of there by your heart. And I mean, it's almost like your body's getting a restart. It's shutting down and coming back
down,
up.
right?
Yeah, it really did. When
you woke up, you didn't know where you were.
Well, when I woke up as if I had just been asleep, and we were driving down the road towards a telephone pole, which was like 1 second later. So that was kind of a terrifying event. You wake up and you're driving. And yeah, having the flu, if I had realized I had the flu, I would have either had somebody else drive, or could have door dashed the
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts. I just thought I had a cough, and didn't really think I had the flu.
Right.
But clearly I've learned some limitations of mine.
Yes.
And,
Yes. Now that we're getting older, that's stuff that you have to pay attention to.
And then there's two other pieces to this. The car itself, based on all the traffic reports and the fact that it got totaled and all of that, we actually put 148 miles on that car.
We hadn't even made a payment.
And actually never made a payment.
No.
It got paid off by the insurance company in full prior to the due date of my payment. So
Oh my God.
hopefully it'll help my credit rating.
There goes your insurance rating.
Oh yeah, insurance is going to be screwed. But thankfully we went off the road to the right instead of going off to the left. I mean, this was a Friday morning. We could have hit people taking their kids to school, a school bus. It could have been anybody on their way
Crossed
to
over
work.
the other side of the street.
Thankfully, we went that way, and
Yeah.
He was inches away from he could have just missed the telephone pole and we would have been in the ditch.
Yeah, but I freaked out because I woke up and we were heading off the road. So it was trying to get it back on the road was the instinct, and then there wasn't enough road between us and the telephone poles.
Thank God. Everything about that accident could have been worse. Everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got out of it with a lost car and some bumps and bruises,
And
which
here we
would have
are.
been way worse.
And here
No
we are
broken
2.5 weeks later, and
feel good.
my ribs are at like 95% at this point, as long as I haven't really been coughing at all. But if for any reason I were to cough, or if I watch something that makes me laugh and it causes me to cough, it causes a little bit of pain. But for the last 3 days, I've been up walking around. We carried into the garage the new bureaus that we bought. I picked them up, loaded them. So, so we're over the hill there, or at least out of danger with the rib. And but very, very scary. And
Yes.
but most importantly, the three of you, even though Julie's not on camera, you three took very good care of us.
Oh, please.
And
Oh, we're not kidding though.
not kidding, to the point where, it wasn't so much the next day, but Super Bowl Sunday, I was in excruciating pain most of the day. I would moan a little bit. I didn't let anybody on that it really, really hurt. But I was struggling to breathe in deeply, and they gave me that little thing. It was a tough, it was a tough couple of days. So we want to thank you guys for everything you did, because
we enjoyed ourselves,
And then you guys left, and right on the heels of you guys leaving, Diana's parents arrived, and they continued to take care of us. So we were very fortunate to have all of you guys here, because that could have been it would have been a tough couple of days trying to fend for ourselves.
I think we would have had to have someone fly down. Honestly, if it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do anything.
No.
We were so sore. We couldn't sleep. We weren't, plus all the adrenaline from it, it was just.
Right.
It was a couple hours after that accident before I felt any pain in my ribs.
Oh, I
I
bet.
had no idea. If it weren't for either the nurse or the doctor, pushing in on the sides, doing a little exam, I wouldn't have even realized. I was, Diana mentioned I had a couple of cuts on my face. I had a burn mark.
Yeah.
The smoke in the car was really just the stuff in the airbags.
I didn't know that at the time.
In the hospital, your arm hurt worse than anything.
It was a surface burn, and I'll show you if you can see it now. It's basically
Oh,
gone.
it looks good. Yeah.
It was a surface burn. It was almost like road rash.
Yep.
And honest to God, for about 3 hours, that hurt worse than my ribs hurt at any given point. But then it started to take care of itself.
And then the ribs kicked in.
I had a good coughing fit after you guys left with the ribs that, I think I triggered muscle spasms in the area. The whole area was distressed. And thankfully there was some muscle relaxers included in the
in
the meds that they sent us. Yeah. So they were good to us. They took good care of us down here. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it took me like a week and a half for it to kind of come out for me. Like just finally let it all out.
Right.
I just had, and I never cry ever. I occasionally do.
Yeah.
I work my hardest, but it doesn't usually work.
But it just like all of a sudden I just was because I was scared for him. I didn't know, and it just.
And I was scared for her. So when she mentioned that there was smoke in the car, and she said, "Get out," I was so out of it from just waking up that I have no recollection of talking to her, but other than knowing that the door wouldn't open for her on her side. So I had jumped out, ran around the car, ripped open her door to get her, and she wasn't there. And I freaked out, even though I had just talked to her. And when I turned, I saw her. We were walking away from the vehicle. So, but that was a bizarre set of bizarre set of things.
It didn't feel real.
No.
And then we felt super shitty because now you guys paid to come down here.
And we did nothing other
We
than let you
couldn't do
guys wait on
anything.
us.
We didn't
Yeah.
have a car to go anywhere. I mean, I felt, and then you cooked and did all our stuff. So
Well,
we
I'll
owe
tell
you.
we didn't do anything that you wouldn't have done yourself.
Right.
No,
And
I know.
I'm just really glad it wasn't worse because I wasn't about to change any Depends or any diapers or anything.
You know, if you want, the next time you come down, we can practice.
I think I'm good, Jim. I'm good. Thanks for the offer.
You sure? I think maybe you should think about it some more.
So that was our crazy weekend we had together.
Yeah, it was, but we had a good
It was
time.
still
We
fun.
made the best of
We
it.
still had fun. We did
You walked
actually.
6 miles.
Yeah, we walked 6 miles. Woo!
Yeah.
It was so, the weather down there was so
It was
beautiful.
awesome.
We had to take advantage of it.
That
so.
one day,
Yeah.
75, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
it was
feeling the
gorgeous.
sun.
And then as soon as you left, it became freezing cold.
See?
Sorry.
It's been nice the
Yeah.
last couple of days.
Yeah, the last 2 days it's been in the mid 60s.
So the bruising on your body, Diana, was absolutely crazy. You were purple and blue and yellow, and it was gross, absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting. So, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but if you talk about someone getting hit by a car,
Oh, it's a good segue, right?
yes. So
So I said to Noelle, so this whole new thing just came down with the Karen Reed, John O'Keefe. You know, they talked about how the FBI was investigating this case and that they were going to find all the corruption with the cops and everything.
yeah,
And they came out today with their findings and there were no charges on any side.
Said there were no
So
findings.
they said there were no findings, and I thought for sure, because so I just went through this car accident. Now we weren't going very fast. I would say 15, 20 miles an hour,
maybe.
correct?
Yeah,
Maybe I was
If you had
asleep.
just
Right.
taken that turn, there's no way. Yeah.
So we were coming up to a red light, but I don't think he even knew it was red because he was passed out. But anyway, so you know, so they talk about him being hit by a car at a slow speed. I forget what they said, 30, 40.
Yeah.
We'll have to fact check that. So
30,
I
40.
thought to myself, I'm in a car accident. I mean, granted, I was seatbelted and airbagged, but the bruises, as Noelle said, that I had my entire midsection
In the
was-
shape of the seatbelt.
Yes.
Across and across. Yep.
and I got that hematoma in my stomach. Now, if he was hit by a car, he had no bruising whatsoever on him. His
Nope.
stomach didn't have the bruising. I'm sure he would if he got hit in the midsection, he would have hematomas in him.
Right. But they
All
were
around him.
yeah.
And so like I kept thinking, I'm like, and now it's 2 weeks later, right? From our accident, 2.5 weeks.
2.5, yep.
And I still am bruised. Okay. So this dude, I feel really bad because I honestly don't think she killed him, but I think she's going to go to jail for it.
Yeah.
After seeing my bodily injuries in gyms from being in a car accident, I can tell you immediately I had bruises.
Yes, you did. So instantly, once I got to the hospital, which you weren't even like an hour out, you could see the bruising on you coming out. So I
Yes.
agree with you. If he had gotten hit by a car, there should have been bodily bruising. So I don't understand.
This is my question though, because he was in the cold, right?
Yeah.
Does that like hypothermic does that do anything and make you not be like, I don't know.
Well, it takes a while to die. And that they have said repeatedly that he did not die from being hit by the car, which would mean even in the cold, the bruising should settle in, even if it was at a slower pace because it was cold out.
Okay,
And
that's
it should-
all I was.
Still should have been on, I mean, at least
I
on
mean,
the
he had
surface.
nothing.
Yeah. That's insane. So
He has
this,
a cut in the back of his head and he has those claw marks that were from the dog.
right. supposedly not from the
You
dog.
can't tell me differently.
Right. No, I agree with you. When you brought that up, I was like, that's a really, really good point. Just
To be a
see what
detective.
the bruises that you guys had on your bodies from that, it was absolutely insane. Poor Jim was showing me, and I was like, oh, and I went to touch it, and he's like, it hurts. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it literally like Friday, it stopped hurting. 2 weeks later. And I also, much to a smaller degree, but I also have bruising identical to the seatbelt as well.
Yeah.
On your belly and your side.
And it went through every shade of colors.
I think Noelle and Julie saw more of me than they needed to. Couple of days because of I was just so sore, and I just had to show them.
I
Right.
heard a couple of
They got a lot to see.
Yeah, the Barney boob,
It's
the
not
purple
Barney
Barney boob.
I called my right boob sponge boob because it had turned basically yellow.
It turned yellow, yeah.
It's almost normal color.
That's good. That's
I
good.
do have like a splotch this big on the side that's deep purple, but that'll go. That's from the seatbelt and airbag, and it'll go away.
Good. That's good. I'm so glad to hear that.
And I can feel the hematoma in my stomach is tiny compared to what it was.
Yeah, because that's just like a blood blister kind of inside. So, oh my gosh, when I got to
Bruised
the hospital
inside.
and the nurse was telling her about the hematoma, I could see the look on her face, and I was like, please stop talking to the nurse. I don't want you to say anything more. And as she walked out, Diana looked at me, and I'm like, listen, this is what she said. You're fine. And she's like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the doctor's. Am I gonna? I'm like, stop. She's like, can I fly with this? I'm like, stop. You're fine. You're fine.
No, literally, it was the doctor came in and she said everything was fine, and then she goes, but then we found, and I looked.
I was like, oh, good Lord.
And she said everything, and I was like, in one ear, out the other, because that's not what I'm hearing right now.
No. And I knew that. I was like, oh, the look on your
anxiety is brutal.
Well, I'm just glad that you guys are okay. I'm glad we were there.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Me too.
Yeah.
She roofied me. I'll stand by, put my hand on the Bible. She roofied me.
He owes me though.
Roofie.
We want to get a little plaque and call it Jim's pole and put it on there.
I was thinking about getting one of those, license plates like the kids collect with their name on
Yeah.
it. Just have it say Jim and hammer it up pretty high on the pole.
Well, and then when we were coming back from the hospital and we're telling the Uber guy what had happened, as we turned the corner to where the pole is, there were 8 freaking trucks working on putting up a new pole. I'm like, well, we're not in Massachusetts anymore, man.
Oh, the
Damn,
police.
that was fast.
Yeah, the police said it was heavily damaged.
Well, when we do something, we do it right.
Do it right. Absolutely.
We don't half-ass.
Nope.
We full-ass.
That was a sexy vehicle, though.
Oh, yeah.
liked it.
I'm so sad.
So heartbroken.
It was a white Honda minivan that I
With black interior, which they
It
don't
was
make a lot
gorgeous.
of. It was beautiful.
I
Loved
never thought I'd say that about a minivan.
Right? I'm not a
It was
fan.
so
Yeah,
comfortable.
that was nice. We got
We rode in it twice. Twice.
I rode in it 4 times, counting the test drive.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, that's it for us for this episode. This week, BFFers. We will see you next episode. And remember, it is always better to have a friend with 2 chins
Then 2 faces.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Life's Journey with Best Friends. For details on any of the things we've mentioned in the podcast, including photos, visit our website lifesjourneybff.com. You can also email us at lifesjourneybff@gmail.com or visit us on Facebook, Instagram, or Threads.
Remember, no matter where life takes you, you are never alone when you have a best friend by your side. Until next time.